Hey everybody, it's Ziz here, and welcome to Crowfall Insider, your news source for all things Crowfall, and we got a ton of stuff to talk about. Those are Hunger Dome 1.1, which they're adding new archetypes, the new test that's going to be coming up next month, we're going to talk about that. Also, we got to look at the male assassin first artist rendering of what they think it's going to look like and some lore background. We got a combat chat with Tully and Blair giving us all the feedback and what they learned after a month of letting crazy testers in and beat on their game. We got the first look at our castle model. This is even bigger than the keep that's in the game already. We got to take a look at the model of that. There was also amazing, awesome, super cool October Q&A from J. Todd Coleman and Thomas Blair. We're going to take a look at that. There was tons of great information. But last and not least is a chance for you to win an Amber, Sapphire, or Ruby backer pledge. That's right. Hundreds of dollars, almost over $1,000 in backer pledges. This is a contest you can enter right now to try to win one of those. I'm going to give you all the details and a whole bunch more right now. First up is the Hunger Dome 2. Now they're going to be doing a test 1.1 sometime in November. That's right. Now my guess is sometime towards the end of November. But what they're doing right now is they're working on all the feedback. Everything they told us, everything that they've been working on. They've been busy, testing the game and make sure it worked. Now they got to get down to business, start working on the game. And there's been some speculation on the forums about what kind of stuff they're doing. They said that they're going to change the movement from server-side movement to client side, so hopefully it'll feel a little more responsive and be a little better there. I'm thinking they might also add lunges. That's where when you attack, your character like moves forward and like actually hits the person and they don't just run away from you. A bunch of speculation there. You can check it on the forums, things people think they're going to be adding, maybe some more items or weapons, maybe, who knows, they might start to put in some actual, details like colors instead of the gray box. I don't know, maybe not. Whatever they put in, I'm excited, because one thing they did say they're going to be adding is this bad boy right here. This is the champion archetype. That's right, this huge guy. We are going to get a play in 1.1 starting in November, just next month. They're adding a new archetype already, and this guy is huge. He's a melee DPS. He's going to use a two-handed weapon and just wreck face, just destroy people. It's going to be amazing, and they're going to start with the pre-alpha testers just like they did last time. So sometime in November they're going to start inviting pre-alpha, and then they'll go to alpha 1 based on when you backed, just like they did this last test. But on the official release here, they didn't say anything about this, but later on, I don't know if maybe this was just a slip of the mind, but J. Todd Coleman put in a post that they're also going to invite Alpha 2 backers. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about. J. Todd Coleman on the forums, this is when all the last test was done with 1.0. He put this little post out there saying, yeah, we're going to start with 1.1 next time. It's going to start in November, but as you can see, we'll start with the backers from pre-alpha, alpha 1, and alpha 2 reward holders as necessary to fill up the servers. Now, it's possible maybe they only invite a couple alpha 2 backers and then say, oh, we got enough, we'll stop. But could you imagine how upset you would be if they invited some alpha 2 players and said, no, not the rest of you? I'm thinking they're going to invite all Alpha 2 players eventually to this test. You're probably not going to get in November, but maybe halfway through the test, they're going to invite more and more people like they did last time, and you're going to get in. And this is huge because you can buy the gold package of the game, which isn't nearly as expensive as Alpha 1. You can get Alpha 2 for a lot less than that and jump in the game and start playing right away. And this is the giant awesome guy that you could play. So if you're interested in the game, maybe you're close to that Alpha 2 mark, bump it up because it looks like you're gonna have access to the game really, really soon. Now on top of that, we also got a little bit of information on Hunger Dome 2.0. This is a new test after that they're already looking forward to after the test in November. They didn't give us any official date yet. They said when 1.1 starts, when they're in the next testing phase. Depending on how that goes, they're going to let us know when the next one is after that. My guess is it's probably going to be sometime at the end of January or February. Usually it looks like they're kind of going with a month on of testing, get a bunch of information, go away for a month or two, and then come back. Now they have let a little bit of stuff slip as far as it looks like 2.0 is going to rock our world. They're going to have a ton of awesome stuff. It's going to be a lot different. It's not just the Hunger Dome, it's a whole new map. And they even said it's going to be a little more permanent. I'm thinking this is not just a short little 20-minute match type thing. It's going to be a longer big long sort of, the servers open all weekend, go do crazy stuff. And I'm hoping it's going to have a huge castle, which we're going to look at shortly. Also, I think it's going to have destruction. They haven't said it will, but I think it's going to have destruction. What we do know for sure is that it is going to have the Ranger. That's right. This is the Ranger that's going to be in 2.0. Whenever that is, this is going to be in there. So if you like archery, you want to be able to play, definitely take a look at this, and I'm certain that Alpha 2 is going to have access to it at that point if they're in the November test, and I think they look awesome. You look at these models, they look amazing. I'm really excited. They're working so fast. They're putting so many tests out there, 2 new archetypes already. I'm excited. Is it November yet? Where's the test? I want to play already. Next up was a quick update they gave us about the male assassin. Now, this was the stretch goal. This was, extra money put in because previous to this, they were just going to have the female version, just the Fey assassin. And people were worried, well, how's it going to work with the lore because the Fey assassins kill all the males off and all this stuff. Well, they give you a little bit of lore background on this guy, and he's basically an outcast. You can see his ears are cut off. They cut off his ears so people wouldn't recognize him, but this guy's kind of grown up. He's got these giant wings, and it seems like maybe they're an offshoot of the Fae. If they have wings still, which it looks like they do in this picture, that means they can still probably glide in the game. J. Todd Coleman said that they're not going to be able to fly probably, but you might be able to jump off the top of some big mountain and glide over the battlefield, which is pretty cool. But go check that out. He's this dark, brooding, emo kind of guy. Gives you a little bit of background. No official information as far as skills or anything like that. But it looks pretty good. I'm excited. If you want to play a male assassin, we'll get excited because it is official. You will definitely be able to play one in the game. Next up was the Hunger Dome 5. This is the video where they give us all the dirty, nitty-gritty details about what the developers are actually doing. This is Thomas Blair and Tully, and they are giving us a little feedback on what's happened over the past 5 weeks when they let all of us crazy testers in there and just go crazy. And the biggest thing is they got a ton of awesome feedback. They said it's really kind of obviously different. Most games don't let you in there with a gray box world and such early in development, but they got a ton of great information, lots of bug fixes, things that they've changed already, things that they're looking at changing, and it gave them a lot of great feedback. They worked a lot on the latency and the performance of the game, and it changed a lot from the beginning of the Hunger Dome to the end. People originally were in the 2000 range for latency. It was terrible, and by the end it was all the way down into double digits, and I even played on the European server and it was only like 200. It was very, very playable, very good. So they got a lot of awesome feedback there. They also said that the split between archetypes was not too bad. There was about 40% of the people playing both the Knight and the Confessor, and maybe about 20% of the people playing the Legionnaire, which isn't surprising. It's a little bit different archetype, it's a little more supporty, plus it didn't have as much work done on it as the other ones, but they got a great feedback to see how we're playing. And one thing they said, they were really surprised by how old people's computers are. They said they got these, reports back from people who were playing, having problems with the game, and they have this 6-year-old graphics card. Now, I don't know. I replace my stuff a lot more frequently than that, but 6 years old, I don't know. I mean, they said from the very beginning that you're going to need to have some sort of modern computer to run this. They didn't say you have to have some supercomputer, but it needs to be at least sort of up to date and be able to play modern games. And that's the problem with PCs. You have to continue to upgrade them. That's why people like consoles. You buy one and it works forever, basically. So I'm okay with it because I got a good computer. I can understand, though, if people are upset because their computer's, 5-6 years old and it's not working, but too bad, so is life. Suck it up, go mow some lawns, get a better GPU, and then you can enjoy the game. Next up are the castle models. Now these are the actual models that we're going to see in game. So of course they don't have the textures on them yet, but this is what it's going to look like. Now the size difference, there's the keep that we've seen in the game so far is kind of right in the middle, and a little bit bigger than that is this castle. Now there's something even bigger than that, which is a citadel, which we haven't really seen the official version of that yet. So this is like stage 4, this is like the 4th biggest one, and it's absolutely massive. I mean, if you look how big this thing is, there's a town inside the walls, the outer walls, and then you have the upper part of the keep, and you can see like people, if they break down the walls, they still have to go up the hill, through a second gate, around the corner, and this is so huge. It's so awesome. I'm really excited to play it. The walls look the same as the walls you saw in the keep that we have right now in the Hunger Dome, but the circular towers are like twice as tall as those walls. It really gives you an idea how huge that is, because those walls are like 3 or 4 times taller than players in game already. So those towers are like super huge, and then you have the huge thing in the background, that giant tower there. Look, that thing must be so tall. It's got balconies you can go stand on, you can shoot people. Even inside is massive. You can have these huge battles, like if your guild controlled this, or maybe if you're on the 12 God campaign, you know, like your whole side can control one of these things. And they already have like stairways going up to the roof so you can siege people. It just looks amazing. It's super great. I know some people are turned off because it's just a gray box world and they maybe don't. I have a good imagination. I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking of all the possibilities. I'm so excited, and this is what I'm hoping. I hope we see this in the Hunger Dome 2.0. That's a test going to happen probably sometime the beginning of next year. This is what I'm hoping we're going to get, and even more than that, I hope we get to destroy it with siege mechanics. I don't know, we'll see, but it looks pretty darn awesome. Next up was the October Q&A from J. Todd Coleman and Thomas Blair, where they actually answer questions from the forums and from backers. We got a lot of awesome information. The first question that I really liked was, how are you going to protect your keeps and castles when it's like the middle of the night? You know, everybody's sleeping and then someone just ninjas your stuff, and that sucks. That's no fun. And the answer to this is that your, what they call strongholds, whether it's a keep or a castle or a citadel, whatever your base is, those things are not attackable all the time. They're kind of like protected. You can't attack them, you can't lose them. Now, every once in a while, maybe every few days, someone can like declare war on you, and then for a few hours or so, it's open for attack. So you know, hey, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we need to be at our keep and defend it because they're attacking, right? And if you defend it, then you get to keep it, and then you're protected again for another few days. If the attackers win, then they get it, right? When I first heard this, I was kind of worried. I was like, well, where's the gameplay in that? It's kind of silly that I can't just attack people's stuff. That sucks. Like, I understand losing your stuff in the middle of the night is lame, but not being able to attack a castle, that seems lame too. Where's the gameplay? And they specifically said they have points of interest in the game that you are meant to fight over all the time, like lumber mills and quarries, and those are the sorts of things that you're going to be fighting over constantly, non-stop, trying to get the resources and take them back to your stronghold to use for crafting. And so you may not be fighting over keeps all the time, but you're going to be fighting over these points of interest all the time as well. And on top of that, you also once in a while get the chance to attack a stronghold. So I thought that's pretty great explanation, and I really like the way that that sounds now. I think that's pretty cool. Another question was if each projectile is going to have its own speed and range. We're talking about like arrows and fireballs and meteors and that sort of stuff. And Thomas Blair said, yes, each one is going to be different, which is nice. When everything is cookie cutter and it's all exactly the same, that gets pretty boring. When you have a dozen different projectiles and you need to know the speed and the distance and the arc and all that sort of stuff, it makes it a lot more interesting and a lot higher skill cap. Now, a really funny part of this video, someone asked, if I go to the dregs, which is the hardcore campaign, and they said, I don't care about the Eternal Kingdom at all, I don't care about any of that stuff, what do you have to incentivize me? What are you going to give me to keep me interested in the dregs when I don't care about this other stuff? And this was the funniest part. This was, well, this was his response. I'll let him tell you.
It's a good question, except that the question kind of contains, like embedded within it, is an unanswerable puzzle,
trap.
Right? It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. In Akbar terms,
it's a trap. It's a trap.
So here's why it's a trap, right? So I've got somebody coming to me and they're saying, hey, I love to play games at Dave & Buster's, but those tickets that spit out of the bottom of the games, I don't give a shit about those because I don't like anything in the store. It's all a bunch of bullshit. I don't want to do any of that.
It's pencils and erasers.
It's pencils and erasers, and I don't really care about that. So, I don't care about that. Why should I care about the tickets? Well, you're not going to. I'm telling you, baked into this question, that I don't care about X, Y, or Z. Now, you tell me why I care about X, Y, or Z. You don't. I understand. I mean, you don't. So we've tried to actually approach this a couple different ways, right? Like we have the artifacts and relics.
Right.
And the artifacts and relics actually give you some small benefit in your other campaigns. Not enough that will unbalance it, but a little bit so that you have some reason to care.
Right.
And we also have the tournament system and leaderboards, things like that for bragging rights. But at the end of the day, we're specifically creating this type of campaign for people who do not want to have their campaign influenced by that metagame.
So right there is, I think, the best answer I've ever heard from a developer, because it's not BS. It's not, let me trick you, let me try to sell more games, not let me tell you what you want to hear. Let me tell you the way it actually is, and then it's your choice to decide if you like the answer or not. And the person is saying, I don't care about your rewards, so give me a reward I care about. And he's saying, you don't care about rewards, just go play the game and forget about the rewards. I already tried to give you a reward, you don't want it, so just play the game. Now the funny thing is, at the end of this, the camera guy that was hired to do this said, hey, don't forget, you can trade in your rewards, you can give them to other players, you can sell them to them and get VIP access. So if you're the kind of player who doesn't care about the Eternal Kingdom at all that good stuff that you get from playing, sell it to other players for free game time. How amazing is that? It's the best answer ever. And last but not least of this massively long update is the Cawstume Contest, which gives you a chance to win an Amber, Sapphire, or Ruby package. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in these packages, access to the game, and you don't even have to be a backer to do this. If you're interested in the game and you're not a backer, you could join this contest and win, and boom, there you go, you're a backer. All it is a costume contest. You can't have, you can't be like not safe for work stuff. You can't like impersonate an employee or their personas, but pick something like that's in the game, maybe whatever you think relates to maybe a zombie or a crow or whatever you think. Dress it all up, get a great looking picture, and then you tweet it at Crowfall Game with the hashtag costume and a short description. And then the way you win is the more votes you get, because fans are going to be voting on it. Whoever gets the most votes, 1, 2, and 3, they're the ones that get it. So it's not even picked by the devs. It's all social media. It's all what you think fans would like. Put it out there, go get a bunch of votes, get your friends to vote, and you could win a $500 package. It's that easy. I'm gonna have the link to all that down below so you can click on it and see the exact details. And that's it this week for Crowfall Insider. We talked about a ton of stuff. We got the Hunger Dome 1.1 and 2.0. Don't forget, if you are in Alpha 1 or 2, or of course pre-Alpha, you're gonna have access to that at the end of November. And I'm curious, what do you think is gonna be in the Alpha 2.0? Hunger Dome 2.0 we'll see probably at the beginning of next year. I'm thinking destruction is gonna be the big super awesome thing they're gonna add, but I'm curious, what do you think? Put it down below what your guess is for that. Also, we gotta look at the male assassin, this super cool dark emo hipster guy. Are you planning on playing a male assassin? I might try it out, I don't know. We took a look at the combat chat 5, also the castle model, which is huge and awesome. I think the October Q&A with J. Todd Coleman's answer for Dave & Buster tickets was the best thing I've ever seen from a developer. It's amazing. I mean, these guys get better and better and better, and if I hadn't already given them more money than I've ever spent on a game, I would probably give them more. I hope the game is awesome because they deserve it. Also, the Cawstume Contest is a chance for you to win that huge big package I bought for hundreds of dollars. You could win one for free, so go check it out. If you do, let me know. I want to see your pictures. I'll vote for you, so just let me know. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.